So this is going to be a thought that I want to say, and that I have mentioned on the podcast before, and I will make a separate podcast just for this specific topic. But I do think it is something that I'm going to recommend for everybody to go ahead and do, and especially when it comes to expanding your own thoughts and ideas. If you're not able to do this in many different aspects, I do believe that you're going to live a lackluster life. And over here we're trying to help each other out, and the only way you can go ahead and do that is by learning the skill, right? In order to expand your ideas and thoughts, you must be able to effectively communicate your mind's genius into well thought out speech. Now, this is going to be something that, like I said, I've mentioned it plenty and plenty of times, but it is so key when it comes to expanding your own ideas. If you're not able to speak to other people about that and um, properly illustrate exactly what is going on in your mind in order to through your speech, you're not going to be able to get through on certain thoughts. You're not going to be able to have certain ideas because you have a limiting input. That's what I will say. You have a limiting input, which is basically your own mind. If you're not able to um, speak on these certain things, you're not able to add, and people are not able to question, which I think is very very important when it comes to developing your own thoughts and ideas for sure. Grandma, appreciate for stopping by. Like I said, if you're in here, I want to see you guys in the chat for sure, for sure. So yeah, so there's a few different parts of it, right? Obviously, being able to effectively communicate, but also being able to take what you think, when you truly think, the things that you spend a lot of time thinking about, whether it's certain solutions, or whether it's some of the positive things. Maybe it's a creative idea that you've never heard of, right? Being able to effectively communicate that specifically, right? I feel like a lot of people have untapped genius. I do believe a lot of people have untapped genius, but they're not able to show the world that genius. And I think that is probably one of the most tragic things that ever existed is that there being genius out there that is not being able to be properly described for people to uh, truly think for those thoughts for themselves, right? I do believe that if we were better and more effective communicators as people, we'd be able to have a lot more advancements within society because um, yeah, I do believe that it's something that can change your entire life if you actually are able to effectively communicate that specific thought. But yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to come down to, right? When it comes to expanding your own thoughts, you must be able to illustrate what that's going to look like to other people, and from there you'd be able to get combated by certain things. And I think that's very very important as well when it comes to developing your own thoughts and ideas, for them to be challenged, for people to go at you based on what you believe and what you say you believe. I feel like that's going to test a lot of different things, and also if you have any holes within your argument, they're going to be easily exposed. And I do believe that's going to, of course, it's gonna you're gonna be the fool in that aspect. But being able to adopt the role as the fool, and also to say, hey, okay, maybe this is a learning point. I feel like that's also going to help a lot of people out when it comes to expanding their own thoughts and ideas. So yeah, that is gonna be one thing. And here's the thing: you might even be able to find it through, like I said, conversation, arguments, disagreements, right? You being able to effectively communicate through your speech, and then also go about your own personal ideas and thoughts. Like I said, you're going to be a person that is honestly battle tested when it comes to your own thoughts and ideas, and the things you can conceptualize, right? Oh, give me one second. So, like I said, if there's any specific topic around this that you think I could add to when it comes to my overall idea, I want you to go ahead and leave it in the comments for sure. All right. In order to expand your thoughts and ideas, you must spend time only thinking, and this is a thing that um, I've taken advantage of over these last 2 weeks. Is allow myself to think, and obviously, time and time again, when you're especially on vacation, you're gonna get distracted, of course, as usual. But being able to have this time away is gonna allow you to have a lot more effective ideas, and sometimes like I said, it gives you that motivation at times, which I don't like to use that motivation or rely on the motivation, but I do feel like it can fuel you again for sure. Um, and Yeah, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people know that I always say, spending time thinking is something that should be done a lot more. like I said, I said it time and time again on this podcast before, because I do believe there's not enough people that just solely think, and they're usually caught up with life in some capacity. They're caught up with life, and they don't allow themselves to think about the things that thoroughly need to be thought through. So, for example, let's just say you're getting over a breakup, right? You being able to have you thinking about and processing it completely for what it is right then and there. Um, it's just so for okay. The way I would describe it is this: let's just say you had a year to yourself, right, or a few months to yourself to actually think about the actual problems that you have in life right now, right? You spent a long time thinking about these things versus you going through life, having no breaks, right, or no breaks, no vacations, none of that, and you're constantly having that as a secondary action, right? So the secondary action is to think about the things that you need to think about in order to, progress, in order to emotionally mature, things like that, right? If you're not somebody that is consciously taking the time to think about things that need to truly be thought about, and not only obviously you can think about them as secondary, but to put them primary, I feel like you're gonna be able to get a lot more out of your own life, and also expanding your own thoughts and your own ideas and getting over your own traumas in that regard, because you're allowing yourself to think and have that time to think, right?